It's choosing day for the new town residents, but it's also box day for Frank, and box day is never a good day. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. We are here to review episode 3 of From season 1, and it is called Choosing Day. So today is the day the new people in town will choose their forever home. So we start the episode with Frank. We didn't see him in episode 2, but we see him now in episode 3. He has been locked up by Sheriff Boyd, and he is awaiting his punishment. What his punishment is, we don't know yet, but Frank, I don't think he's really caring about punishment right now. He knows that him being foolish and that his complacency basically got his family killed. So at the moment, I don't know if punishing Frank's really going to do any good. He's just sitting there, locked away, rotting away, feeling pretty depressed, and you don't blame him.
I don't blame him either. Boyd did look out his window though, and we did see the box, so it kind of was like, what's that all about? It was a nice wee way to kick off the episode.
And he also brings out keys, which I believe is for the door of the box. It's like a boat key.
Yeah, I think it's like a boat trailer that it's actually based in. And obviously the key must work for that, but maybe if you thought at the end of the last episode, does Boyd have an escape plan here? On a boat?
Maybe. Where's the boat? Damn it, let's get to the boat. We then go to Colony House, and Jade is now conscious. He's like screaming. He's still tied up to the bed from the previous night. And then Donna comes in and is shouting at him, basically tells him to shut the fuck up. But Jade's not happy about this. He says, untie me now, or I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But then Donna's like, what are you gonna do? And Jade at this point realizes that he ain't gonna do nothing because he's tied to this bed, so all his threats are kind of empty at this moment in time. However, after he is freed, it's explained to him the situation that he is in. However, Jade does not buy it at all. He starts laughing. He looks at Donna. He looks at Ellis, and he believes that this is some sort of like escape room that Toby has had planned for him, and he can't believe the amount of effort everybody's going into, and the size, and the fact that this escape room is the entire town. And he basically goes a little bit crazy. He's like, oh, Toby, you're a genius. And we then see him steal some fat woman's bike as he cycles into town. And basically the whole episode, he is pretty much annoying all the town residents. He goes to the diner. He cuts the line in the diner before getting slapped over the back of the head. And yeah, the guy's just loving life here. He thinks this is one big game, and obviously did not listen to Donna. We then get Fowler Catry. He introduces himself to Jim and to Bifa. Now, I think they already met him before, but he gets a proper introduction, and he tells them that today will be choosing day, and they leave Julie to look after Ethan as they go and look at the new houses in the town. So Fowler Catry takes them to the house where Megan was killed, and it's kind of weird. You would have thought maybe they'd cleaned up a little bit, maybe they haven't had time. I suppose that did happen on the same day
as the premiere, but if you look at it, I mean, the blood, the iron, it would be absolutely disgusting. Not exactly ideal living situation, especially a kid getting killed in that room, and you want to put a kid in the same house.
Yeah, it's not really an appealing option. Catry then points out what happened, and when Jim notices the box, Catry tells Jim that the box is the town's form of punishment, where a culprit is confined overnight and left exposed to the monsters. Jim says he put a talisman in with him though, and Fowler Catry just shakes his head and is like, no, we do not.
Absolute death sentence.
That's pretty much what this is. I mean, it is like the death penalty, basically.
I don't see how you can survive this. Well, you can't.
You're locked in the box, you've got nowhere to go, and you literally, we'll find out at the end of the episode. Now, we do see, like, there's some friction. I think Julie is, like, not happy with her family. She just acted up. I mean, you think of everything that's happening right now, and she's, like, having a hissy fit that her family are wanting her to look after her brother. Shouldn't they just be lucky and grateful to be alive at this stage? But it seems like Julie's going to play the annoying teenager, or the annoying child that just has to be annoying.
Yeah, I hate roles like this. It kind of happens in every TV show, doesn't it?
Yeah.
With families, and I'm not a fan of it, but I see it has to be done.
But we see that her and Fatima are becoming pretty close, even though I would say there's a decent age gap between the two.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, you can see that they are...
even the way she was putting her arm around her, it's like, what is this? You just know this person all of a day.
Yeah, and like earlier she says that Ellis would love to draw you because you're beautiful, and it's like, I don't know, to me that was a little bit weird.
Bit fucking nonsense if you ask me.
Because Ellis is drawing Fatima because that's his girlfriend, like...
Yeah, now he's drawing, what, a 16-year-old, 15-year-old?
And like, I'm not saying she was naked, like, but when Ellis was drawing her for the first time, she kind of like had like a revealing kind of top on that was like open and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm not too sure why Fatima is wanting Julie to get drawn by her boyfriend or whatever. But a little bit weird, and that's probably...
I think it's just grooming her to stay at the colony house. That's what I think it is.
Could be the colony house there.
The colony house grooming show.
I do feel like that. You definitely feel like if you had to split the colony house and the town, it's like the town is like more conservative. And the colony house is like liberal.
It's like Chicago, Portland. That's what the colony house is.
Yeah. We see Kenny tries to comfort his mother over the death of their father, but she continues to open up as normal. Sarah goes into work as normal. She works at the diner, even though she is responsible for killing Kenny. She goes into work because I believe she thinks that she has to. Or else. She also reveals to her brother Nathan that she left the door open, which it's a pretty big reveal here. And Nathan's like I'll sort this out. But yeah, what can he sort out really? You know, she's literally just...
Maybe she's going in the box.
She is literally just...
Imagine having to work in this world. What's going on?
Yeah. She's literally just, got a bunch of people killed though. But she turns up for her day at work. We then see Frank and Boyd. Boyd's like, is there anything you need, Frank? Then let me know. Frank wants to go out to the woods. There was like a reserved spot where he used to take his daughter, and he built like a climbing tree, and he says that this is where he would take his daughter. His wife was always scared that he would like push the swing too hard, and basically Frank's just sitting there, trying to remember better days. Then we go back into the town, and we see Jade. He's like still snooping around. He still thinks this is some sort of game. He still thinks this is some sort of escape room, and he like goes into this like underground passage. I think it was maybe like a basement kind of thing. I don't know what like a cellar, like
maybe like a tunnel system. I don't know.
It's hard to describe what it is, but inside he has like a vision that he sees like a dead body, although it's not actually there. And then when he falls on his back, he notices a symbol on the roof that kind of freaks him out, and then all of a sudden he makes his escape. Then we go back to Frank and Boyd basically can't do it. Earlier we seen Boyd speak with Father Catry, and Boyd was basically wanting Father Catry to give him any reason not to put Frank in the box, but Father Catry was like, look Boyd, you created that death trap to punish people. Once people know that you're not willing to use it, then you lose control of the town, which is true. I agree with what Father Catry is saying here, but Boyd, this is not the answer Boyd was looking for. And then Boyd turns around and says to Father Catry, you're a shit fucking priest, you know that? Which,
yeah, he's a priest though, is he supposed to gloss it up for him, or does he actually want the truth? The priests have to tell the truth.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Boyd went there for, the truth. Boyd went there for answers, and Father Catry gave him those answers. It wasn't the answers that Boyd wanted. I think Boyd was hoping that Father Catry would come up with some sort of compromise that still involved punishing Frank, but not sending him to the box. But Father Catry was like, look, you've created this guillotine, you have to use it, or else it will mean absolutely nothing. So with that, Boyd goes back to meet Frank, but he just can't do it. He tells Frank, look, I'm giving you a chance here. There's a place out in the woods. He gives him a talisman, and he's like, you go there, you try and make a life for yourself, and you never come back. So Boyd, I guess, is he going to come up with some sort of excuse, some sort of fake story that maybe Frank managed to escape?
Like, say he goes out to the woods, Frank. I mean, what is there for him to do?
Yeah, it's not much of a life. I mean, if Frank takes Boyd up on this offer, I mean, what is he going to do? Live the rest of his life?
For food?
Drink? Well, maybe he can find stuff out there, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, grow your... Well, but the point is, I mean, it'd be a very fucking lonely existence.
Yeah. No, because I think he would just be getting hunted his entire life.
Yeah, what we do is like a hut. Is he going to stay in a hut every single night, and then what during the day go out and pick flowers or something in the woods? So yeah, but I mean, at least Boyd gave him that option. We then go to the area where they're choosing. Boyd announces that it's choosing day, and he tells them that this is how they do things here. You pick your forever home. There's like a rock, and there's like two rocks. One's got like a flower symbol, the other one's got something else, and whatever one you pick, that is where you will stay. Before anyone can pick their new home, though, Frank reappears with the talisman, and he tells Boyd in front of everybody, look, I messed up. I need to face the consequences. I need to be punished. My family are dead because of me. And then he goes on to tell everyone how he wasn't always like this. He used to be a good father, but he let this place get the better of him. And that is what basically transitioned him into this kind of waster, drunk, that man that let his family down. Now, by no means do I think Frank is like a bad person. He just, he got drunk. I guess he didn't follow the rules, and it's just like incompetent, really, rather than being a bad father. Although you could argue in a situation like this, incompetent kills.
And he has thrown Boyd under the bus here, I think.
Yeah,
Boyd let him go, and then he's come back and went, well, you know what, Boyd, see that plan? It's not for me, buddy.
So, yeah, this kind of look... Now, maybe we're making too much of it, but it kind of did make Boyd look a little bit... It made him look small, it made him look weak in front of the rest of the townfolk, because...
Indecisive.
It was almost like Boyd was allowing Frank a chance to escape with a talisman and not be punished. So... Then when Frank gives him the talisman, we see Jade, and Jade starts like laughing and clapping. He's like, oh, don't go, Frank. And he's mocking Frank, who's just came and really gave this, deep emotional speech about how he's let his family down and that now he needs to be punished and do the right thing here. And this infuriates Boyd, Sheriff Boyd. He's not having it. He goes and grabs Jade, twists his arm and throws him against the rocks. And he's like, pick one. Jade just lifts whatever one is closest to him. Then Boyd's like, yeah, that's it, right, you're staying in town. Then throws him away. Jade said he's going to sue Boyd. This isn't part of the game. He's like, I'm going to get you fired. Do you know who you're messing with? Kenny then comes and takes Jade along with him. He's like, I need to show you something. And then he shows him a grave that Kenny has been digging all day. And it's Toby that is staring up at Jade from the grave. So at this point, Jade sort of realizes, look, this isn't a game. Toby's dead. He didn't plan this. And, we are in deep, deep trouble. Then we go back to the area where they're choosing the houses. Jim's like, okay, well, my family, we're all going to pick the town. However, Boyd says it doesn't work that way. You have to all pick individually. So Jim picks, Tabitha picks, Ethan picks. But then, of course, we get to the last pick. Julie's last, and she picks Colony House.
See, as soon as Boyd said this, so I knew she was going to pick Colony House. I thought it was a bit predictable, but then again, I only had 5 seconds to realise, so...
Jim and Tabitha obviously are not happy. It's like, no, Julie, what you doing? You can't do this. Donna's like, well, she's made her choice, that's it.
Boyd's like, no! We need
Boyd's like, wait.
Stop the count!
And Donna's like, no, Boyd, you know how this goes. When you pick, it's final. And at this point... Tabitha's like, okay, alright, we change our mind, we pick Colony House, but Donna's not having it. Donna's like, nope, she's made her choice, everything is done here. And Boyd's like, hey, come on, let's think about this, let's talk about it. But no one wants to talk about it. Donna here, for the first time in the show, I guess she is kind of like the leader of the Colony House, and she basically told Boyd here, look, you might be the sheriff, but when it comes to this, you don't make the rules. There seems to be clear rules in place here. And once you pick somewhere, that is it.
That must be what Ellis done. Ellis must have picked Colony House over town, and that's why there's a wee bit of friction between him and Derry.
Obviously, Jim, his wife ain't happy. Boyd says, look, we'll talk about this tomorrow. We'll sort it out. And everyone then goes back to their respective place, whether it be town, whether it be Colony House.
And Jim has to board up his windows. He doesn't have long left. Tell you what, it was dark, so they left it late here to board up some windows.
Yeah, they move in. Then Frank gets put in the box by Boyd, and Frank says, will you bury me beside my family? Boyd goes, of course. The rest of the town folk then surround the box and just kind of like watch as Frank's put into the box. And they watch as the door to the box is closed. And then they'll just like walk away and leave him. Very eerie feeling here.
Yeah, it kind of felt like...
Father Caffrey's like the last to go, but he wasn't even like... He didn't even really say a prayer for Frank. He kind of just looked at him and went...
I think Big Father, whatever his name is a weird character.
Then up at the Colony House, we see Donna welcoming him in Julie, and it looks like they're having like a party celebration, and it just kind of seems wrong. And I know they're welcoming... I know they're, bringing in a new member and all that stuff to their home, but it's like... I mean, literally, a guy is going to get ripped apart that night. They're all in the same boat. They're all in the same situation. You'd feel like they'd have a little bit more, I don't know, like sympathy or remorse or.
I guess maybe I think most of them are just accustomed to this though. And Frank jobbed it. I'm afraid so.
So yeah, we see the Colony House celebrate. Everyone goes back to their house in the town, and then Frank is left alone in the box. And we see the monsters closing in on him. They're surrounding him, and they take their time. It's like they're like they surround the box and like they do circles around the box. But finally, as Frank lays down, and I guess I don't know what he's going to do next, but he doesn't have a chance to do anything next because
he does a Mick Foley.
The monsters break through the box, completely destroying it. They grab Frank, and then the camera fades to black, and I think it is fair to say at this point Frank is dead. And that is the end of the episode, guys. So there you go, Tuesday day, when the new residents chose their home, and we say goodbye to Frank. Overall, what's your thoughts, and do you have a rating for episode 3, Tuesday day?
I wish the Jade storyline could have actually lasted longer, but I guess he had to find out.
I enjoyed the Jade scenes. I thought they were pretty funny.
Yeah, I think he had to find out before night, but I feel like now that the fact that family's moved out of the Colony House, just no one really in the Colony House that I would actually like. So I feel like it's going to be a proper divide of where I'm like, I saw about the town, and Colony House sucks. You see where I'm coming from with that?
I get that, yeah.
We did have what's the wee kid called? He did tell, what's the creepy guy?
Ethan. Well, yeah, we did see Ethan and Victor communicate. Victor was outside. Ethan was trying to talk to him, and Ethan wanted to be friends, I guess, but Victor says, go away because you'll get me in trouble. And then eventually Victor opened up to Ethan once he opened up to the little boy. And once he talked about the boy in white, so I'm assuming Victor sees the boy in white too. There could be some sort of connection there.
And then touches the boy in white.
Victor reveals that he is trying to measure the distance between the house and the forest because he believes things are moving. So yeah, that is it. We'll find out what happens with Victor in episode 4. But again, back to the rating time. What are you giving Tuesday day?
I'll give it a 7.
I'm giving it a 7 as well.
That's intriguing though that he's met. Does he feel like the forest is getting closer then?
He thinks it's closing in.
And soon there'll be no escape? It'll eventually go through the house?
Possibly.
Damn, that's no
Possibly.
good. You need to fucking start moving your houses.
Yeah, we need to build
the fucking town then.
We do.
Well, Colony House is going. I'm predicting it then.
Colony House.
Season 1 finale, Colony House won't be fucking there.
Boom. I'll give it a 7 as well, guys. 7 out of 10. That is it. Make sure you check out the Theory Feds on From. And of course, if you're into any other content on the channel, we've got lots of Mayan stuff, lots of Sons of Anarchy stuff. There's movie reviews. There's a little bit of everything here on Fog Entertainment. So leave a like, leave a comment, make sure you subscribe, and we will catch you in the next one. But until then, peace.